Alright, so gather round people because the P. Diddy trial is unfolding and honestly it's giving Hollywood scriptwriters a run for their money. You think you've seen drama? You think you know plot twists? Oh honey, buckle up. We're talking about a saga that's got more layers than a celebrity wedding cake, and each new revelation is wilder than the last. I'm Ekwa, and today we're diving headfirst into the most shocking, wait, what did I just hear? Moments from this ongoing courtroom drama. It's a roller coaster, and we're all just trying to hang on. Forget your reality TV shows for a second, because is the real deal. We're talking about allegations that make your jaw drop, testimonies that have you questioning everything, and a cast of characters that, well, you just couldn't make up. It's a story that's got the entertainment world buzzing, and for good reason. The details emerging are not just gossip. They're painting a picture that's complex and frankly pretty unsettling. We're going to try and make sense of some of the biggest bombshells that have been dropped so far. And just to give you a little taste of what we're dealing with, one of the standout claims, and believe me, there are many, involves none other than Kid Cudi. He's alleged that his Porsche, yes, his, was set on fire. Not just any fire, mind you, but one started with a Molotov cocktail. A Molotov cocktail, that's not your average disgruntled fan behavior, is it? That's next-level intensity, and it's just one piece of this massive unfolding puzzle. So, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with this Kid Cudi situation because, wow. Imagine being Kid Cudi, right? You're a successful artist, you've got your struggles, you've got your triumphs, and you probably think you've seen a fair bit of craziness in the industry. Then, you find yourself in a situation where you're alleging that someone, in connection to all this drama, decided the best way to send a message was to turn your luxury sports car into a flaming heap of metal. We're talking about a Porsche, a symbol of success, allegedly targeted with a Molotov cocktail. It's so brazen, so aggressive, it's almost cartoonish if it weren't so serious. The implications here are massive. This isn't just about property damage, it's about intimidation. It's about the lengths people might go to, and it paints a very dark picture of the alleged circumstances surrounding Diddy. When an accusation like this comes out, it's not just a headline, it's a piece of evidence that adds a whole new level of menace to the entire proceeding. You start to wonder, what could possibly lead to someone thinking, you know what this situation needs? A flaming Porsche. It raises serious questions about safety, power dynamics, and the kind of environment we're talking about here. It's the kind of claim that makes everyone sit up and pay very close attention. And think about the message it sends, or is alleged to send. A Molotov cocktail isn't a subtle hint. It's a direct, fiery statement. This detail alone has added a cinematic, almost unbelievable quality to the trial, making it clear that the stakes are incredibly high. It's one of those moments where you have to remind yourself this isn't a scene from a gangster movie. These are real allegations being discussed in a real court of law. The shock isn't just about the act itself, but what it suggests about the underlying tensions and potential for violence. It truly sets a dramatic and frankly terrifying tone for everything else that's emerging. Now, if the flaming Porsche wasn't enough to make your eyebrows shoot into your hairline, let's talk about the testimonies from former associates. You know, the people who were the circle, the ones who saw things, heard things, and are now, for various reasons, sharing their stories. These aren't just random people. These are individuals who allegedly had first-hand knowledge of the inner workings of Diddy's world. And let me tell you, some of the things they're saying are painting a picture that's, well, let's just say it's not all glitz and glamour. It's like pulling back a very expensive, very shiny curtain to find something much darker behind it. These testimonies are crucial because they offer a glimpse, however contested, into environments and interactions that are usually hidden from public view. We're hearing about alleged patterns of behavior, specific incidents, and a general atmosphere that some have described as controlling or even abusive. Of course, these are allegations and everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but the sheer volume and consistency of some of these claims are hard to ignore. It's like when one person tells you it's raining, you might check the window. When 10 people tell you, you grab an umbrella, even if the sun is technically still out. The truly surprising part for many is the detail and the nature of these damaging statements. We're talking about former employees, artists, and other insiders who are stepping forward. Some of these testimonies touch on alleged financial improprieties, others on personal conduct, and some on the general power dynamics at play. Each testimony is like another piece of a very complicated puzzle, and as they stack up, they start to form a narrative that the prosecution is trying to build. It's a classic case of, he said, she said, but when there are multiple she's and he's saying similar things, it definitely makes you lean in and listen a little closer. Alright, let's switch gears from fiery cars and whispered testimonies to something a little less dramatic on the surface, but potentially just as explosive: financial records. Yes, spreadsheets, bank statements, a whole lot of numbers. Now, I know what you're thinking, Akua. How can a spreadsheet be a bombshell? Oh, my friend, you'd be surprised. In high-stakes trials like this one, sometimes the most damning evidence isn't a smoking gun, but a smoking calculator. When those financial documents get unsealed and laid out for the world to see, they can tell a story all their own. A story that sometimes people try very hard to keep hidden. The release of these documents often comes with a flurry of activity as lawyers and forensic accountants, who are basically financial detectives, start sifting through them. They're looking for irregularities, unexplained transactions, or patterns of spending that might corroborate other claims or open up new lines of inquiry. In this P. Diddy trial, the financial records are under intense scrutiny. Are there payments that look suspicious? Are there companies that seem to exist only on paper? These are the kinds of questions that get asked, and sometimes the answers found in those columns of figures can be incredibly revealing and, yes, unexpected. Imagine finding out that large sums of money were moving in ways that don't quite add up, or discovering investments and expenditures that raise more questions than they answer. These aren't just numbers. They represent decisions, relationships, and priorities. Any unexpected findings, like unusually large payments to certain individuals around critical times, or a sudden shuffling of assets, could be hugely relevant to the trial. It's like a financial breadcrumb trail, and the prosecution is hoping it leads them, and the jury, to a clearer understanding of what was really going on behind the scenes. Sometimes the quietest evidence speaks the loudest volumes. Now, if there's one thing that can turn a courtroom drama into a full-blown spectacle, it's the introduction of secret recordings. Done, done, done. Yes, apparently we're at that part of the P. Diddy trial. The mere existence of secret tapes is enough to send ripples of anxiety through any legal team, and when those tapes are actually played in court, oh boy, that's when things get really, really interesting. It's like everyone's been talking about what happened, and then suddenly you might get to hear what actually happened, or at least a version of it captured in real time. The content of these recordings is, of course, the million-dollar question. What was said, who said it, and in what context? These aren't just casual conversations. If they're being presented as evidence, it's because someone believes they contain incriminating statements, admissions, or information that directly impacts the case. Imagine the tension in that courtroom as a recording is queued up. You could probably hear a pin drop. Are we talking about discussions of alleged illegal activities, threats, attempts to cover something up? The possibilities are endless, and each one is more damaging than the last. The impact of such recordings can be monumental. It's one thing to hear a witness recount a conversation. It's another entirely to hear the actual voices, the intonations, the pauses. It can corroborate testimony or completely blow it out of the water. These recordings can shift the entire dynamic of the trial, providing what some might see as undeniable proof, or at least incredibly compelling evidence. The defense will undoubtedly try to question their authenticity, the context, or how they were obtained, but once that audio is out there, it's very hard to unhear it. It's like someone accidentally hitting reply all on the most incriminating email of their life, but in a courtroom. So, with all these bombshells dropping left, right, and center, flaming Porsches, tell-all testimonies, mysterious financial trails, and secret recordings, you're probably wondering, what does P. Diddy himself have to say about all this? And that's a fair question, because in the court of public opinion, and more importantly, in the actual court of law, the response from the accused is a critical piece of the puzzle. P. Diddy and his legal team aren't just going to sit there and let these allegations fly without a fight. You can be sure of that. Their strategy and official statements are under just as much scrutiny as the accusations themselves. Typically, the response involves a combination of strong denials, character defenses, and attempts to discredit the accusers or the evidence presented. We've seen official statements released, often through high-powered attorneys or public relations teams, categorically denying any wrongdoing. They might frame the allegations as baseless, motivated by financial gain, or as part of a smear campaign. It's a familiar playbook, but the effectiveness depends heavily on the specifics of the case and the evidence that continues to emerge. You'll hear phrases like witch hunt or these claims are meritless. The challenge for Diddy's team is immense. Each new revelation requires a response, a counter-narrative. Are they going to address each point specifically, or issue more general denials? Will P. Diddy himself make any public appearances or statements beyond what's legally required or strategically advisable? His response isn't just about legal maneuvering, it's also about managing his public image, an image built over decades in the entertainment industry. So as these bombshells continue to explode, watching how Diddy and his camp react, respond, and strategize is a whole other drama unfolding within the main event. It's a high-stakes chess game, and every move is critical. So, there you have it. A whirlwind tour of some of the most jaw-dropping bombshells from the ongoing P. Diddy trial. From Kid Cudi's Porsche allegedly meeting a fiery end thanks to a Molotov cocktail, to the revealing testimonies of former associates, the scrutiny of financial records, and the playing of secret recordings, it's been a lot to take in, and of course, we've touched on P. Diddy's official responses to this barrage of allegations. It's a complex web, and new threads are seemingly being added every single day. This trial is far from over, and it feels like we're only scratching the surface of what might still come out. The sheer number of serious claims, from intimidation tactics like the alleged car bombing to the potentially damning evidence in financial papers and secret tapes, makes this one of the most talked about legal battles in recent memory. It's a stark reminder that behind the velvet ropes and auras of celebrity, real-world problems and very serious accusations can and do exist. The truth? Well, that's what the court is trying to figure out. But what do you think about all this? Which revelation shocked you the most? Do you think the Molotov cocktail Porsche story is the craziest part? Or are the financial details and secret recordings more telling? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear your take. And of course, if you want to stay updated on this trial and other stories like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because trust me, there's going to be more to talk about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.